For the majority of us working with tabular data, Pandas is the most preferred Python library to load and manipulate tabular data. Apart from loading our datasets as a Pandas data frame, we can use data frames to display different kind of data like various metrics, various statistics, various pivot tables, and so on. Now, the default look of Pandas data frame in Jupyter Notebook is not that eye-catching for this kind of scenarios. By default, it does not let us highlight important values of a metric or statistic to draw the attention of user to the particular part of that metric or statistic. But Pandas do let us style the look of our Pandas data frame according to our needs. And that's what I'm going to discuss in today's tutorial. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see on my screen, I have already started Jupyter Notebook and we'll be doing our coding in Jupyter Notebook. So we'll be modifying the look of various data frames in Jupyter Notebook. And as you can see at the beginning of the notebook, I have included a few sample image of how the modified data frame or how the styled data frame looks. So as you can see in this first image, I have modified the look in such a way that the column headers, so columns and index are of different color. And then cells are colored according to values. So if the values is less than 0.5, then color will be red, otherwise the color will be green. So you can do same. If the value is less than 0, then you can color the cells of the data frame with red color, and if it is greater than 0, then you can color it with green color. Next, another example where the most commonly used machine learning metric confusion matrix is represented as Pandas data frame, and various cells of this data frame is colored so that we can draw the attention of user to this particular values. Yeah, and you can also add gradients. So as you can see in this example, third one, the gradient colors are added. So it will be based on the values of Pandas data frame. So higher value will have a darker color and the lower value will have lighter colors. So you can add gradients as well, and I will explain various methods in this tutorial using which you can do that as well. And then I have highlighted the important sections of this tutorial. So first of all, I will explain you how you can style the columns headers, and then you can style index, and then both. Then you can style all the cells of data frame. You can style particular row, particular column, particular cell, and how you can style based on the data. So conditional formatting or conditional styling will also I explain. And yeah, so let's get started. So in order to do styling, first of all, I need to create a data frame. So that's what I have done over here. So over here, I have created a data frame of random numbers. So I have taken random numbers using np.random.rand. And the shape of this data frame is 8 by 5. So there are 8 rows and 5 columns. So I have kept it simple for explaining examples. And the column names are A, B, C, D, E, and row names are R1 to R8. So this is the data frame we will be using in our tutorial to explain styling. Now, each data frame has an attribute named style. So if I call style, it returns an object of styler. Now this styler object has various methods which we can call to modify the look of the data frames. So this is the most important attribute. So all the methods in this tutorial which we will call in this on this style attribute. So if I simply call df.style on data frame in Jupyter Notebook, it will display me original data frame which does not have any styling. But as I explain various styling methods which we call over here after this, then the modified look will be displayed. And on this style, one of the useful method is toHTML. So what this does is that it returns the HTML of the table. So it returns it as a string. So let me execute this line of code. And from that string, it's a very long string because there is a lot of data in this table. And I am only displaying first 1000 characters. So that's enough for our explanation purpose. And as you can see from HTML, first there is a styling detail. So there is a style tag where styling details will be added. So when we will be calling various methods on this style, styling details will be added in this text style tag. And then there is a table tag, and in table we have various headers. So as you can see, A, B, C, D, E, these are the various headers. And then we have data over here. As you can see, data is in TD tag. So TH tags are for headers. So as you can see over here, TH are for columns, and then TH tags are also used for index. So R1 is our index. So for that also TH tags are used. And apart from this tag names, so you need to keep eye on this tag names table, tr, th, td, because when we will be doing styling, we will be using CSS styling, and we will need to know this tag name to style the data frame. And apart from tag names, this important attribute class, it has various values, and so we will be merging these tags with these class values to specify the styling for particular cell of our data frame. Over here, class is call heading for all the call headings. So this is for column headers, and same way row 0 call 0, row 0 call 1. So these are various values of row 1. Yeah, so this will be very useful. So you can keep an eye on this. If you want to do styling, just call to HTML and check the HTML of your modified data frame. So after you apply styling, then also you can call this to HTML, and you will be able to see various styling details over here in this style tag. All right. So the first thing that we will style is the header. So we will be styling the column headers of our Pandas data frame. So to do that, the first method that we will call is set table styles. Now this method accepts a list of dictionaries, and each dictionary will be specifying style details. So each dictionary has two keys. One is selector, which is some kind of condition, and then there is a properties. So the cells which satisfy that condition will be applied this particular styling, which is specified through these properties. So over here, as you can see, I have said th tag and then dot column heading. Let me go above. As you can see, th tag is over here in this table th, and then I am calling dot column heading. So dot column call underscore heading is a class. So whichever cell that satisfies this requirement, that th is the tag and call underscore heading is a class, only on those cells the styling detail will be applied. Now the styling detail is given as one string. So this is how the styling details are given in CSS. So if you have a little bit of background with CSS, it will be easy for you to understand. So I am specifying background color as tomato, font size as 20 pixel, and color as white. So this will be the font color. So let me execute this line of code. And as you can see, we have modified the header or column headers of our Pandas data frame. So it's that simple. You need to know the structure of your Pandas data frame, HTML tags and various classes. And so that's a one way of doing it. So here is a one more way of doing it. So as you can see, the results are same. So here the selector is same as earlier, like th.call underscore heading. But for props, earlier we provided single string, but over here we have provided list of tuples, and each tuple has two values. First value is the style detail. So, and the second is what is the value of that style. The background color, then tomato, font size 15 pixel, color white. So you can do that as well. If you do it this way, it will be easy to maintain and modify. So you can use whichever way you are comfortable with. So that's how you can modify the header style. So next, let's go ahead and style the index. So again, we will use the same set table styles function. We will give a list of dictionaries. This time I am calling dh.row heading, and then I am providing the detail of styling. So if I go over here in this HTML, you can see over here th is there, and then row heading is another class name. So all the index are maintained this way. So tag and then row heading. All the index will have a class where row heading is mentioned. So that's a hint for us to style the headers. Let me execute this line of code, and as you can see, now that the index is styled, so I have provided same styling detail like background color, tomato, and all that. So let's go ahead and style header and index both. Now in order to style header and index, you can provide these two dictionaries one after another, which we have already discussed. So you can provide one dictionary and then colon another dictionary. But there is a shortcut way. So all the headers, column headers and index are specified using this th tag. So I have specified th tag. So all the th tags will be given this particular styling detail. So let me execute it. So yeah, so we can do this styling with only one dictionary. So you can do it with two dictionaries as well by combining the code which I explained earlier. Right, so next is style all the cells. So in this case, what I am doing is that till now we styled the header, column headers and index. But let's style the individual cells. So all the cells are specified using td tag. So for them, I have provided styling detail. Background color as Dodger blue, font size 10 pixel and color as white. And over here, as you can see, I have again used the styling from previous section where we had styled the headers, column headers and index. Let me execute this line of code. And yeah, as you can see that column headers are styled and individual cells are styled as well. So all the cells are styled with just one styling detail. So in upcoming sections, I will explain how you can style individual cells as well. Right, so let's go ahead and style the individual row of our data frame. So first of all, again, I'm styling the header and index over here. So we are again using the same method, set table styles. And for row, I'm calling td.row1. So row 1 is a second row. So let me execute this line of code. And as you can see, the second row is colored with the Dodger blue color and font size is modified. So row 1 is the class name which is used for all the cells of the second row. And the indexing starts from 0. So this is row 0, then row 1 and so on. And same goes for columns. So for column 0, column 1 and so on is the various classes. So let me show you to confirm it. So as you can see over here, row 0, row 0, row 0. So this is the first row and there will be second row and so on. And as you can see for various columns, the tag is call 0, call 1, call 2 and so on. So that's what we will use to style the individual column as well. And that's what I am doing over here. So call 2 is the third column. So let me execute, and as you can see, we have provided styling detail for third column. Right, so let's move on to next cell and try to modify the style of a particular cell. So let's say that I want to modify cell which is at location fourth row and third column. Let me execute this line of code, and as you can see, I'm highlighting particular value, so you can do that as well. So the styling detail over here is td.call2 0 1 and 2. This is the call 2, and row 3, so 0 1 2 and 3. This is the row 3. So this particular cell will be styled with this styling detail, and styling detail, as you can see, background color is specified, font size, font color, font weight is bold, font style is italic, and I have also added border this time. So I have added 5 pixel solid black border. So if you have a little bit of background with CSS, it can help you with the styling detail. All right, so let's move on to next section. So all our previous styling examples were based on specifying the particular cell position, so row position, column position and so on, and the styling was not based on the data. But let's say that you want to do styling based on data. So let's take one example. Over here I am doing a simple conditional check. So I want to check which values of our data frame are greater than 0.5 and which are less than 0.5. As you can see, after I do conditional check, I am getting this modified data frame which has values false and true. So wherever the values will be greater than 0.5, the true will be present, and when the value is less than 0.5, the false will be present. So we will use this data frame to specify styling details of individual cell. So I want to style the cell of our data frame in a way that values that are less than 0.5 will be colored with red color, and the values that are greater than 0.5 will be colored with green color. So in order to do that, first of all, I need to add classes. So all our previous examples were based on classes, if you remember. So that's what I am doing over here. So I am calling df.style, then set td classes. And over there, I am giving this modified data frame. So this conditional data frame, which has this value false true and so on. So this will modify the style of our original data frame, and it will add these classes over there. So let me show you the HTML to show you where the particular classes are added. So as you can see over here, till now we had only these classes like row 0, col 0, row 0, col 1 and so on. But we have more classes now, false, false, true, true and so on. So now we can use these classes to specify the styling detail. So it will be conditional styling based on the values of our data frame. So that's what I am doing over here. So then on this modified style attribute or styler object, which we got over here, on that now I am calling set table styles. So first I added these classes, and now I provide styling detail based on those modified classes or those added classes. So I am providing two dictionaries. So the first dictionary simply checks for dot true classes. So for classes are specifying starting with dot. So it will match all the cells where the true class is present, and same the false is also specified. For true the color is lime, which is almost like green, and for false the color is tomato. So let me execute this. And yeah, now as you can see, all the values that are less than 0.5 colored with the tomato color, and those greater than 0.5 are colored with lime color. So this is where you can specify conditional styling based on the values of your data frame. So that was one way of doing conditional styling. There is a one more shortcut method named apply map, and it applies the styling detail based on individual cell. So you can go through each cell value. So I'm over here providing a simple lambda function. X is the value of that cell, and if that value is greater than 0.5, then use this styling detail, and if the value is less than 0.5, then use this styling detail. As you can see, I have provided same styling detail, so we will get the same result, but this time we were able to do it with just one line using apply map function. We can also define function like this and give it to apply map, and it will work as well. Now if you want to apply the styling, this kind of conditional styling, to particular column of your data frame or particular columns, then you can use this subset attribute. So I want to apply A and C column with styling. So as you can see, column A and column C will be applied that styling detail, which is specified using this styling function. Same way, if you want to apply styling detail for particular rows, then you can do that as well. For that, the format is this. You can again call you can again give a subset parameter. Then you need to give a tuple. For the first values a list of rows, so single row or multiple row, whatever. Then you need to call this function slice with none. Let me execute it, and as you can see, R2 and R7, these two rows were styled. Yeah, so that was some of the useful function to perform styling. Now, other than that, there are many functions available with Pandas DataFrame to do styling. So I have highlighted some of them over here. So if you want to highlight null values, so you can simply call this function null. You can use this function highlight mean and highlight max to highlight mean or maximum value for data frame for particular columns and so on. You can also specify range and highlight values in that range using highlight underscore between. You can highlight quartiles. You can also set background gradient, which I explained at the beginning of this tutorial. So you can simply call this function background gradient, and it will apply gradient based on the values of your data frame. And you can also specify color map over here. You can try different color maps. Same way, text gradient, text underscore gradient will apply gradient to text, not background colors. Same way, you can also add bars. So bars will be added to your cells based on the value of that cells. So in this last section, I am explaining how you can save your modified data frame. So after you have applied styling, how you can save that data frame. So you might want to include this modified or styled data frame on your website or anywhere else. So you can save it as HTML file, and then you can use it. So let me show you how to do that. So simply, first of all, I applied styling. So again, I have called apply map. for styling of individual cells, and then I have applied styling for headers and index. And then over here I have simply created a temp.html file in my current directory, and I have written the styling detail 2_html function to it. So 2_html function will return string, and we will write it to HTML file. Let me execute this and let me show you how it looks. So let me open it, and as you can see, this is how the data frame will look in HTML table. So yeah, you can do that as well. You can save the modified or styled data frame as HTML and edit on your website or wherever you want to edit. Alright, so that's it for today's tutorial. Now if you're interested in learning more about the styling, then you can visit our tutorial on our website coders column. I will include link to it in the description. That tutorial is very detailed and contains many different examples, which will give you in-depth knowledge about the styling of Pandas DataFrame. So please feel free to check it if you are interested. And if you have any doubts or any questions, then please feel free to let me know in the comment section. And yeah, see you next time.